Hello children, in this video we will be doing direct and indirect speech in English grammar. So children, here are some of the sentences. We'll read them together. Mohit said, I'll stay with my grandmother. This is an assertive sentence. Who are you? The stranger asked. So this is an interrogative sentence. Shoot those rebels, said the tyrant to the soldiers. This is an imperative sentence. This is disgusting, exclaimed Tisha. This is an exclamatory sentence. So children, all of these sentences are having inverted commas and it is said by the person who is speaking. So it may be an assertive, interrogative, imperative or exclamatory sentence. These are all in the direct speech. Let's read some of the other sentences. Mohit said that he would stay with his grandmother. The stranger asked who he was. The tyrant commanded the soldiers to shoot the rebels. Tisha exclaimed that it was disgusting. So children, you will note that here the actual words of the speaker are reported or said by someone else. So these type of sentences are reporting a speech. So it is called as the indirect speech. So here you can see that there are no inverted commas. That is why it is an indirect speech. Even in the picture, we have some sentences. The first one, reading is my favorite hobby. So this is the direct speech. That is, the boy is speaking. The same sentence is written as an indirect speech. That means someone else is telling the same sentence. He said that reading was his favorite hobby. Now children, let's see some of the rules to change from direct to indirect speech. First is remove all the punctuation marks, that is the inverted commas or any other punctuation that is there, so that we can convert it into an indirect speech. Next, always change into corresponding past tense. That means most of the sentences that are in the direct are in the present tense. So while changing into an indirect speech, you need to change it into the corresponding past tense. That is simple present. That is, if the direct speech is in simple present, it should be converted into simple past in the indirect speech. Similarly, present continuous has to be changed to past continuous. Present perfect to past perfect in the indirect speech. Simple past to past perfect in the indirect speech. Let's see some of the examples. First one, Priya said, I like teaching. So you can see this sentence is in the simple present and it is the direct speech. So below we have the indirect speech. Priya said that she liked teaching. So this is converted into simple past. So like is converted to liked, Liked. Second sentence, I am completing my project. Ravi said to me. This is in the present continuous tense. So the answer is Ravi told me that he was completing his project. So you can see the present continuous is converted into the past continuous was completing in the indirect speech. Let's see the third one. I have painted a picture, Kavya said to me. So this is in the present perfect tense. So how can we change it into a past perfect for the indirect speech? Kavya told me that she had painted a picture. Let's see the fourth one. She said to him, I trusted you. This is in the simple past tense. So the indirect speech is she told him that she had trusted him. So this is the past perfect. She had trusted him. So children, when the reported speech relates to some universal or habitual fact or well-known truth, a proverb or a scientific statement, the tense in the direct speech remains unchanged. This is because the statement holds true at all the times, that is, in the past, present, as well as in the future. Let's see some of the examples. The teacher said, man is mortal. So children, we all know that man is mortal in the past, in the present, as well as in the future. So that is why the tense will not be changed in the indirect speech. The teacher said that man is mortal. Second example, Maria said perseverance is the key to success. So here also this is a proverb. So the tense in this sentence will be unchanged. That is, Maria said that perseverance is the key to success. You can see is same in both the sentence. Third one, Aristotle said man is a social animal. So this is a universal truth or a fact. So that is why here also the tense will not be changed. Aristotle said that man is a social animal. Next is changes in words denoting nearness. So there are certain words which change accordingly in the indirect speech. Like now becomes then in the indirect speech. That means if there is the word now in the direct speech, then it changes to then in the indirect speech. Similarly, there are a number of words that can be changed. Today becomes that day. Thus becomes so. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Tonight becomes that night. This becomes that. Just now becomes just then. Ago becomes before. These becomes those. Next week becomes the following week. Yesterday becomes the previous day or the day before. Here becomes there. Last night becomes the previous night. So there are many more words. So these are some of them. Let's see one example for it. He said to her, "Stand here." So this is the direct speech. In the indirect speech we have, he told her to stand there. That means somebody else is telling the same statement. So we have the word here in the direct speech and there in the indirect speech. Now let's see how to change into indirect speech in the types of sentences. The first one is the assertive sentence. So in this, for first person, you need to use said. Like if the first person is there, then you need to use the word said. For the second person, you need to use told, followed by the noun or the pronoun, that is whatever is following in the sentence. And make use of that. Most of the times in the indirect speech, we use that. For example, the child said, "I am playing." So this is the direct speech. In the indirect speech is, the child told that he was playing. So in this you can see that is added and the child is the second person. Okay, so that is why we have used the word told for the second person. The child told that he was playing. Next is the exclamatory sentence. So in this, we need to remove the exclamation mark first. Then we need to use the verb exclaimed. So that will express the feelings or the expressions. Next, the reporting verb said is usually changed as follows. So instead of said, we can use exclaim or exclaimed, followed by with, then whatever the expressions are. It may be joy, sorrow, anger, fear, wonder, surprised, pain, regret, etc. Next, the exclamatory sentence is changed into assertive. That means as we remove the exclamation mark, so the exclamatory sentence that was there earlier in the direct speech, it changes into the assertive sentence in the indirect speech. Why? Because we put a full stop there. For example, Ravi said, "Hurrah! We have got the tickets of the cricket match." So, Ravi exclaimed with joy that they had got the tickets of the cricket match. So here you can see we have the word Ravi, and just after that, instead of said, we have added exclaimed. So because they got the tickets, they were happy. So the correct word for this is joy. Ravi exclaimed with joy. And the remaining sentence. Next is imperative sentence. When an imperative sentence expressing an order, request, command, etc. is changed to indirect speech, suitable reporting verbs like commanded, requested, ordered, begged, and many other are used to introduce the indirect speech. So as we used exclaimed in the exclamatory sentence, here we can use commanded, requested, ordered, or whatever the sentence is demanding. For example, Mrs. Nair said, "Get out of the class, you naughty boy." So, the indirect speech is Mrs. Nair ordered the naughty boy to get out of the class. So here you can see that Mrs. Nair, ordered the boy to go out of the class. So here we used, instead of get out, we used ordered. Second sentence, "Please bring me a glass of water," said the woman to me. So the indirect speech is, the woman requested me to bring a glass of water for her. So here in this sentence we have request. So the woman requested me to bring a glass of water for her. For sentences with let, so whenever the sentence is having let, expressing a proposal or a suggestion, we may use propose or suggest as reporting verb in the indirect speech. For example, Ritu said, "Let us go for a movie." Ritu proposed that they should go for a movie. So, Ritu said let. So, we have the word let there. So, instead of let, we have used proposed. That is, she told her group of friends, "Let us go for a movie." So, instead of let, in the indirect speech, we can use proposed. Second sentence, Natasha said, "Let us have some music." So, the indirect speech is Natasha suggested that they should have some music. So, here it is a suggestion. So, that is why instead of let, we have used suggested. Next is the interrogative sentence. Remove the question mark. So as we remove the exclamatory mark in the exclamation sentence, in this we need to remove the question mark. That means we need to change from the question into a normal sentence. Then use the reporting verb asked, questioned, or enquired. Do not use that. If the question begins with WH question, words like how, why, when, where, who, etc., then you can change it as the following. Let's see the examples. The teacher said to Amit, "Where have you been?" So here we have where, that is a WH question. So it can be changed into an indirect speech like, the teacher asked Amit where he had been. So here we have removed the question mark because this sentence is not acting as a question because somebody else is reporting the same sentence. And instead of said, we have asked. Second sentence, Lata said to Asha, "Why didn't you come for the shoot?" So the indirect speech is, Lata asked Asha why she hadn't come for the shoot. So again we have said, that is changed into asked. And then we have why she hadn't come for the shoot. We have removed the question mark. If the question begins with an auxiliary verb such as is, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, may, etc., then we can use whether or if after the reporting verb. For example, the stranger said to me, "Does Mr. Ghosh stay here?" So the indirect speech is the stranger wanted to know whether Mr. Ghosh stayed there. So in this sentence, you can see that the question mark is being removed and we have added wanted to know. That is, somebody else is telling the same sentence. The stranger wanted to know whether, the word whether is used, whether Mr. Ghosh stayed there. So in this sentence also, we have the nearness of words changed. Here became there. Let's see the second sentence. John said, "Can I borrow your book?" So the indirect speech is John asked me if he could borrow my book. So you can see we have said, that is changed into asked. And in this sentence we have if used. If he could borrow my book. Okay children, now we have completed with the explanation. Let's do some exercise. Do as directed. First sentence, Joey said to her, "You have not done your work." So we need to change the sentence into an indirect speech. So Joey told her that she had not done her work. Second sentence, coffee, I said. This has to be changed into an indirect speech. So the indirect speech is I asked him or her. So if in the sentence there is no mentioning of a woman or a man of the gender, then you can use your own. So here I asked him or her if she or he wanted coffee. I asked him if she or he wanted coffee. So here you can see the question mark is being removed. Next is, he asked me what kind of music I liked. So this has to be changed into a direct speech. So the direct speech is, he said to me, comma, open inverted comma, what kind of music do you like? So here, when we are converting it into a direct speech, this is changed into an interrogative sentence because we have a question here with a question mark. And children, while changing into a direct speech, do not forget to put comma and the inverted commas. Fourth one, he ordered me to sing that back. This again has to be changed into a direct speech. Sing that back. He ordered me. So here we have put the inverted commas with a comma. He ordered me. Next, you are quite a humorist, she cried. This has to be changed into indirect speech. She cried that he was quite a humorist. So here we have added that. Okay, children, with this, we have completed with direct and indirect speech. Thank you for listening, children. Take care.